Welcome to this video insight. I'm Scott Phillips from Montgomery, and with me today I've got Gary Rollo, Co-Portfolio Manager for Montgomery Small Companies Fund. Welcome, Gary.
Thanks, Scott.
Look, I thought I'd take us on a bit of a journey today on a couple of stocks, looking at the team's top 10 holdings at the moment and trying to get some thoughts on some key positions, given there's been a lot happening in the market. I only needed to start at A because we're looking at AUB. AUB, one of the largest holdings in the fund. Can you talk me through what's going on with that business? You did buy it, it looks like after a transaction occurred when there was a pullback in the share price. It's run strongly. How do you see this stock sort of playing out, and what sort of roles it play in the portfolio?
Yeah, that one, AUB Brokers is this company. It's one of what we call stable compounders. So really the attributes we're looking for there are defensive growth characteristics with some what we call latent optionality that gets us paid for holding that stock. So in the case of AUB Brokers, we got involved because we saw three things. We saw the potential for robust revenue growth. We thought the transaction would produce scale that would lift margins, and we saw a valuation regime that didn't make sense. And it's played out. I think this story will take a couple of years to play out as the full benefits of the acquisition come through, and that valuation gap to peers narrows. And that's why it's still in the portfolio, because there's still some more to go. So that's a big picture of what it's doing.
And I know you've described stocks before of playing particular roles. Is this a good example of a stable compounder that's growing above market trend?
That's exactly right. And not all the stocks can be superstar rock stars. What we're looking for this part of the portfolio to do is steadily beat the market, and then when some valuation angle crystallizes, we get a significant uplift. And I think with this case with those brokers, that's the thing that's going to play out.
Okay, Gary, moving along now to one of the hottest sectors in the market is EV and lithium. And going through our top 10, as I said, when I looked at the A's, we can go to Allkem. Big merger been announced. What's your sort of take on it, and where to from here?
So set the scene, I think, with Allkem. Allkem, as you said, it's a lithium producer, and there is a proposed merger of equals with a company called Livent in the US, another lithium producer. And that sector's consolidating. We think Allkem is a very attractive asset in the sector. I guess the real thing we need to look at with this transaction proposal is, with any merger, is who gets what. So that's where we're at with this one.
So Gary, who decides who gets what in the merger?
Fair question. So the proposal that's been put in front of shareholders is for Allkem to get 56% of the business and Livent shareholders 44%. And really, to assess whether or not there's value in that transaction as an Allkem shareholder, what you got to do is look at, is that right and fair, I suppose. But when we consider that Allkem delivers something like 2/3 of the production capacity, if we look at the ore bodies, the ore body sizes are more than twice the size of what Livent's bringing to the table. That's not really reflected in the valuation allocation about who gets what. So I think there's going to be a lot of work that needs to be done by the Allkem board to explain why this transaction is actually fair and reasonable. Otherwise, this is a consolidating sector. Someone else could come in and take this value. Okay,
so for the moment, you're holding on to your position and looking at how this plays out?
For sure. Allkem, we think it's an attractive asset. This sector is consolidating. There are plenty of big mining companies that don't have lithium in their portfolio that, if they were looking to do so, Allkem would be a perfect candidate for that. So I think there's time to work out if you're going to get paid the right value, or another scenario will play out.
All right, so that's Allkem and AUB, two key positions in Montgomery Small Companies Fund. That's all we've got time for today. Thank you for following us. Remember to follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Gary, we'll talk to our audience soon.
Thanks, Scott.
Thank you.